In our last video about the big five trees, we talked about the baobab. This time we're going to be taking a look at the fever tree, which is the next tree on the list of the big five trees to keep a lookout for. What's interesting about the fever tree is its green bark. That's because fever trees can photosynthesize through their bark and are the only trees to do so. The bark is coated with a yellow powder that peels off in thin layers. Today, the bark of the fever tree is often used for treating eye infections and fever, and extracts can be used to treat malaria. The name fever tree is derived from the early settlers who believed the tree was responsible for malaria. The fact that these trees are like wet areas, which typically is where mosquitoes are found, only cemented this idea further. Today we know mosquitoes carry malaria and not trees, but the name stuck. Similar to the baobab, fever tree is also an iconic tree. It however looks nothing like a baobab. It's easily recognizable by its yellow lime green bark. They're also covered in thorns, which is typical of the other African acacia trees. Fever trees grow incredibly fast. They can reach a height of up to 25 meters, but usually average out around 50 meters. They grow approximately 1.5 meters annually, and they kill off their low branches in order to maximize the nutrition they get from the soil so that they can grow as tall as possible. This is known as sacrificial branching. Fever trees have very shallow root systems and they are easily knocked over by elephants, which is why they don't often max out on their height. Fever trees are often planted next to dams and streams on farms to control soil erosion as a living fence. Our final fact about the fever tree is that in Australia, specifically in Queensland, they are prohibited under the Biosecurity Act of 24. They are not supposed to be given away, sold or released into the environment without a permit, and sightings must be reported, although they've never been found outside of gardens. For some reason it's also a declared pest in Western Australia.